Ang goal kasi ng company is to change the old style ng internship program sa Pilipinas. Some of the seniors na na-experience nila, nag-photocopy lang, nag-stapler lang, nagbutas lang ng cheque. So we don't want that. And I believe kayo din as aspiring interns, naghahanap din kayo ng right company na perfect para sa inyo.
I see internship as an opportunity for us students to experience practical working, explore career development, learning new skills, and of course, gaining knowledge in a field related to what we plan or decide to pursue someday.
Spending 40 hours a week required me a whole lot of adjustment, time management, and discipline.
Every day, merong morning briefing, and that's one of the best ways to start your morning actually kasi masasanay talaga yung katawan mong gumising ng maaga pa sa alarm mo.
WSAP taught me how to be braver and more confident because according to Mr. DJ Yusan again, everything is a learning experience.
There's no better way of learning than through a hands-on experience. Working here helps me instill a sense of professionalism that is necessary for me to compete in the business world. Sitting on important meetings, calls, or presentation allowed me to learn about office etiquette, allowed me to learn about how you effectively communicate with others.
One thing I've learned there is growth. I was able to grow as a person. I was able to test my skills, especially my leadership skills, and to enhance my communication skills. With that being said, we are not only limited to tasks at hand, but we are able to go out of the comfort zone. We are able to talk to teachers, talk to professionals, and to open our eyes in the real corporate world.
My name is DJ Yusan. I'm the founder of Wedding Suppliers Association of the Philippines Internship Program.
Good morning, everyone. Before we formally begin, I just want to remind you all to always turn on your camera, mute your microphone to avoid distraction, observe proper decorum, and be interactive. During the open forum, you may unmute your mic or you may type in the chat box your questions. Thank you.
Ang goal kasi ng company is to change the old style ng internship program sa Pilipinas. Some of the seniors na na-experience nila, nag-photocopy lang, nag-stapler lang, nagbutas lang ng cheque. So we don't want that. And I believe kayo din as aspiring interns, naghahanap din kayo ng right company na perfect para sa inyo.
I see internship as an opportunity for us students to experience practical working, explore career development, learning new skills, and of course, gaining knowledge in a field related to what we plan or desire to pursue.
Spending 40 hours a week required me a whole lot of adjustment, time management, and discipline.
Every day, merong morning briefing and that's one of the best ways to start your morning actually kasi masasanay talaga yung katawan mong gumising ng maaga pa sa alarm mo.
WSAP taught me how to be braver and more confident. Because according to Mr. DJ Yusanagan, everything is a learning experience.
There's no better way of learning than through a hands-on experience. Working here helps me instill a sense of professionalism that is necessary for me to compete in the business world. Sitting on important meetings, calls, or presentation allowed me to learn about office etiquette, allowed me to learn about how you effectively communicate with others.
One thing I've learned there is growth. I was able to grow as a person. I was able to test my skills, especially my leadership skills, and to enhance my communication skills. With that being said, we are not only limited to tasks at hand, but we are able to go out of the comfort zone. We are able to talk to teachers, talk to professionals, and to open our eyes in the real corporate world.
My name is DJ Yuson. I'm the founder of Wedding Suppliers Association of the Philippines Internship Program.
All right. Hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to Internship Summit 2022, Day 2. Another day to gain knowledge and learnings from the professionals that we have here right now. And of course, I would like to acknowledge the presence of everyone. I hope you start your day with a positive mind and be ready for today's event.
So to begin, let's focus ourselves first on the screen for our opening prayer.
Okay, so seems like we are having technical difficulties, but we will going to continue the prayer. Let us put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Dear Father, we offer everything and thank you for everyone gathered here today to walk with you. May we ask you for your blessing and guidance so that the activities set for this undertaking be successful. We ask you you to open your eyes to the wonder things from this activity. We ask that you to open our ears so that we may retain the invaluable knowledge. Open our minds for us to think wisely. Put us with understanding, cooperation, and peace in fulfilling our responsibilities. Open our hearts so that we may receive your everlasting love, and open our spirits so that we may know that you are with us all throughout the day. We ask all this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
There you go. Once again, good morning, everyone. I am Jessamay Busmante.
And I am Mary Joyce Vivar, and we are your hosts for today's Internship Summit 2022.
So I am sure that all of us here have gained a great deal of knowledge about the themes covered by two professionals yesterday, Miss Eunice Barrientos and Miss Heidi Meru, during yesterday's Internship Summit 2022 Day 1. And of course, there's more. Today's Internship Summit seeks to provide comprehensive chances and background provisions to interns that will allow them to perform their tasks in a certain business with more ease in the future.
And not only that, it will serve as a way to reshape our skills and capabilities, and of course, to extend connections. All right, so before we start, may I ask everyone to please put your universities or colleges in the chat box, just so we know who's here today.
Okay, we have here University of Makati, Far Eastern University, LCUP Malolos, Andres Bonifacio, Campus Pasig, and Rizal Technologically, and more. So to all the students in those universities I have mentioned, can you please click the heart reaction for us to know how many of you are here?
Okay, wow, thank you so much to those universities that had mentioned. Okay, so we also have here, okay, Manuel S. and Verga University Foundation. Hello, everyone. Good morning to all of you.
And to all of our audience, welcome to Internship Summit 2022 Day 2. To formally commence the first part of this program, may I call on Ms. Mortel J. Espina for the opening remarks.
Thank you for that introduction, host. So, this year's Internship Summit's vision is to nurture the development of the future generation of leaders. And truly, this has been successfully executed through the insightful talks of the speakers of day one, because they discussed timely relevant topics regarding professionalism, which surely gave the participants a valuable learning experience. So today, let us be more excited as another set of honorable speakers who are experts in their field would share their knowledge with us. As we listen to their talks today, may we all be reminded that great leaders are made through acquiring experience. May we treat today's webinar as an experience that we could treasure as we go along our internship journey. Our dearest participants, viewers, and guest speakers, I now declare Internship Summit 2022 Day 2 open.
Wow, thank you very much for that, Miss Mertel, for that heartwarming opening message. For sure, everyone is now more hyped up for today's event.
All right. So before we proceed, let us first recall the topics that were discussed last time on the first day of Internship Summit 2022. As far as I remember, the first guest speaker was Miss Eunice Barrientos, and she talked about the relevance and benefits of undergoing a quality internship towards being a professional. Then the next guest speaker was Miss Heidi Meru, who talked about internship as well, and how it was considered as a step to change your career for a better working world.
And of course, this is not the end, everyone. We still have more professionals that are willing to share their knowledge and wisdom for us to fully understand what internship can do for our future and how it is beneficial for us.
All right. And now we are down to the realization of one of the purposes of this gathering, and that is to listen and, of course, to learn from our guest speaker today. But before anything else, Miss Jessa, will you do the honor of introducing our speaker for today?
Yes, of course, I would be glad and honored to do that. So, for our guest speaker right now, he is the chairman of the CEB group of companies and also both the CEO and the president of Carl Balita Review Center, also known as CBRC, which is highly acclaimed for the quality of its service and has become one of the most influential names in test preparation industries, which is also known to be one of the biggest and most diversified testing centers in the country, having won a total of 10 prestigious awards for the quality of the services rendered by his company. So without further ado, let us all welcome Dr. Carl E. Balita. Tech team, please present Dr. Balita's presentation. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. Congratulations to the organizing committee of the Wedding Suppliers Association of the Philippines in the WSAP Internship Summit 2022. I'm Dr. Carl Balita, and I'll be talking to you about the internship program, which is a perfect platform to professionalism. You know, as an educator, I have always believed that the internship program is something that is essential and necessary to the development of the competencies for the world of work. It creates a transition from the learning in school to what could be the world of work and the requirements and the requisites to the world of work. The common question whenever we apply for a job is experience. And the killer question is, what is your experience? If a graduate could demonstrate that experience through the internship program, then it would have been a perfect platform, not only to get a job, but to be confident with the competencies that you carry post education. You know, there are big words like competencies. I have to define competencies as the knowledge, skills, attitude, and values. These are what the world of work is looking for. And that's why if you went through an internship program and you have the chance to develop the knowledge because you were taught about it, the attitude because you saw it and you had the chance to demonstrate it, the skills because you are trained for it, and the habits, then you probably would have an advantage over the others who's plain product of the academe. I'd like to present to you what I have prepared as a material so that you would have a greater appreciation of the value and the power of internship as a platform for professionalism. Because remember, when you get to an internship program, you will have a taste, a sneak peek, a preview of how the world of work looks like. And then you'll be able to see yourself in the real world rather than just imagining it or in a laboratory setting. A perfect platform to professionalism indeed, because the internship program or the apprenticeship program, which I call, would give you enough hours engaged in the performance of a function or of a real thing, rather than just reading it from textbooks or imagining it in school or even performing it in a laboratory setting. The first thing I'd like to discuss with you is the 21st century skills. Before I even talk about professionalism, because one important element of professionalism is actually competency. So let me first show you the 3 developing competencies, especially in the area of the post-pandemic times. The first is the foundational knowledge is to know. Do you know what you need to know? And this is what your school may have given you. You know, first is the digital and ICT literacy. Are you able to use technology, the digital resources? Okay. The second is the core content knowledge. Do you know what you are supposed to know? The content of your practice, of your performance. Now, cross-disciplinary knowledge. Are you able to move from one part of the competencies to another? For example, if you're talking of an event, you may just be talking about how to set up an event, but the cross-disciplinary knowledge is music. For example, if the theme is Western, then what kind of music goes with it? So even if your specialty is in events organizing, for example, you may want to also cross the border of that and go to music and the arts. You see, economics, you know, the cost benefit analysis at that. And the second part of the 21st century competency is the humanistic knowledge, to value what do you value. For example, a lot will be observed of you when you're performing your internship program, and that's into the life and the job skills. Your life skills: would you come on time? Would you be able to actually relate with others? Another one is the ethical emotional awareness, like, are you able to control your emotion? You see, are you not easily intimidated? And of course, are you not tempted to violate some ethical parameters in the performance of your job? And of course, that cultural competence, which is actually all about your being able to tolerate or respect the culture as a very powerful, element of our existence. And the meta knowledge is to act. You know, the ability to act. Do you have the creativity and the innovation? Can you improve what is already there? Can you actually think of something out of the box so that you can do better what they may already know? It's hindi ang kaepalan when you are in an internship program. It's actually a challenge of sometimes your team leaders or your supervisor in the internship program would ask you questions like, if you have the opportunity to improve something on this, what would you have done? Problem solving and critical thinking skills. These are essential skills that you may learn in the internship program. Why? Because you will see the real world problem. And then critical thinking is about not being objective. You know, it's not about being biased. For example, in an event or in a wedding situation, for example, you might actually be asked to organize or to help or to supply to a wedding of which is happening somehow somewhere now, like same-sex, ceremonies or Muslim events, or probably some creative events related to the couples wanting to be in an environmental setting, things like that. So it's real critical thinking, and critical thinking is all about seeing through beyond your biases. You see, and of course, communication and collaboration. At the end of the day, this is service. Any service business will actually challenge you to be able to communicate and collaborate. So these are the 21st century skills. And there's another way to present it in this. And by the way, remember that it's not only about what you know, it's not only about bringing out what you already know, but it's showing yourself in the entire ecosystem of the experience. That's why you need to know how to value and of course, how to act. Remember this, because this does not apply only to a particular topic that you have here in this conference or in this summit, because this is all about life. You see, in life, you need to know what you know, you need to live up to the value of it, and you need to act on what you know and what you value. Okay, so this the balance of the three matters. Now, the 21st century skills, in another way of presenting it, just to enumerate it to you, the foundational literacies, it is how students as you are, apply core skills to everyday tasks. Your literacy, are you able to read? numeracy? Are you able to actually compute? Are you able to put cost and value to everything? Scientific literacy, like are you using science in it? ICT literacy, are you using the digital space, the computer, etc.? Because sometimes some events are even broadcast live via Zoom, because attendees may not be limited to the physical attendees that you have. So these are very essential skills. Financial literacy, are you able to control finances? It's not only about being profit oriented, but actually about being cost effective. Remember that a lot of that opportunity can be learned. How do you do cost effective events? How do you do cost effective engagements? And lastly, cultural and civic literacy. So these are all about literacy, as you may see it. Now, on the competency side, how students approach complex challenges, because this is a real world. This is so different from the role playing that you have done. This is so different from what you have learned in school. Okay, that's why critical thinking and problem solving again is surfacing out, creativity, your communication skills, and your collaboration. You know, a lot of the world of work will challenge collaboration. It's not about you and your team, but it's about you and other teams. You see, sometimes in some engagements, for example, you outsource, and by outsourcing, you're actually collaborating, and there you will discover, okay, how do I deal with a team who is even more expert than you in some areas. You know, like for example, this is the opportunity to even talk to supplier of sound system and lights who are engineers, you know, sound engineers, lights engineers, and interior decorators, etc. So it's really about collaboration, or sometimes even about dealing with artists. You know, artists will maybe very demanding for space and privacy and you know, the mood that they have as artists, and of course the image. No, so this is where the real world will bring to you in front of your face the realities of personalities, group dynamics, and so on. And that's what, to me, really, you know, one of the things I really want to strengthen in the educational system as a running senator, as you may already have heard, is really to make sure that the apprenticeship program or the internship program will be an excellent platform to learning. Because, you know, the didactic part, the classroom part, what we learn in school are not so real, especially if your faculty also may lack that experience to share with you. And sharing experiences is good, but it's always best if you can actually experience the experience. Now, there are some characters that you may want to journey you through this program, and that includes curiosity. Okay, are you curious enough to know? Do you search for your own learning? Are you learning in an intentional way? Initiative. Are you able to start something? Are you able to incite change? Persistence and grit. Sometimes there will be conflicts in the workplace, in the real workplace. And how do you handle that? Do you not give up easily? That's what grit is all about. Adaptability. Are you able to change with situations? For example, when you have a plan A and the plan A doesn't work, you go to plan B. If plan B still doesn't work, don't forget you have the entire alphabet. In other words, your ability to adapt is essential. Leadership. Are you able to lead a team? You know, you may just be a starter. You may just be a neophyte, a newbie. Okay, but if you have the leadership, it will demonstrate how you can actually make and influence other people. Okay, of course, social and cultural awareness, because there are some sensitivities. For example, of course, if you have Muslims in your events, you better be careful about the pork. As simple as that. You better be careful about the pork, that it's not about having meat alternatives or and beef alternatives or fish alternatives, but you know, Muslims don't want to eat food that touch pork, something like that. It couldn't even be on the same table. You see, there are so many sensitivities culturally that you may capture and have the opportunity to learn in a real world of work. Now, let me go to professionalism. It's a particular set of values in the workplace. That's why the values in the workplace behavior is how it is defined. It may range from simple wearing of a particular attire, carrying yourself, putting on that makeup, the color of your hair. These are all things that matter. In fact, in other practices or in other careers like nursing, you cannot just color your hair the way you want it. You see, because there's still some institution that would put the nurse's cap, which will not be appropriate for colored hairs. Some men, for example, in some setting, in some internship programs, or in some training programs, you cannot wear long hair if you're in a military internship program, for example, or in a highly stereotyped self-presentation to treatment, okay, of your coworkers. So it's really a very wide range of demonstrable behavior. Now, let me show you some elements or skills which professionals are known to demonstrate. When they ask me, how do you differentiate yourself as a candidate, I will always say, well, I hold 3 professional licenses. And that means a lot. And that means that because I am a professional, then I should be able to put professionalism in what I do. Yun ang differentiation ko. And like, if someone is not quote unquote a professional, then there's no expectation on how you would have done something. But the moment you say that you are a professional, then this is a given. In other words, this is a given such that it is something that is expected that you're able to demonstrate if you are really a professional. Of course, first is the ability. And that ability you can gain from school, you can gain from your own personal experiences. You see? And that's why experience is also going hand in hand with it. Training, okay? Professionalism, that scales your ability to train. It's the learning to learn. Remember this, the learning to learn. The challenge of our times is not the learning to know or the learning to be or the learning to do, okay? But it's actually, or the learning to live together, it's actually the learning to learn. How fast can you actually learn? Okay, competence, I have defined that earlier to you. Learning, how fast can you learn? All right, what else have you learned? Okay, for example, putting on a tie is a big thing among people. I have come across some graduates of college men at that who wouldn't know how to put on a tie, or how to match a belt with the shoes. When you're wearing a black shoes, you have to wear a black belt. It's probably because of the limitation, but these are things you can actually learn from YouTube already, from Google. Search about it, and I'll tell you how to match colors, for women, how to put on your makeup. How should your blush on blend with your lipstick? You see, things like that. How should your hair match with your eyeglass? See, things like that. Because you carry, as a professional, you carry yourself and you're expected to demonstrate something beyond that. And these are things you can actually capture from an internship program, right? And of course, knowledge. What do you know? Advanced trainings. What can you learn beyond what is expected of you? See, in professionalism, there are so many words that are related to growing, your ability to grow, because that's what professionals do. As professionals, we are expected to demonstrate not only what we know, but to demonstrate something beyond and different from those that are not in the same line of professionalism. See, now, of course, the question is, how do you acquire professional skills? I mentioned about this. It's through your education, through your on-the-job trainings, and through your life experiences. That's why internship is really important. Sometimes, in my case, internship does not only apply to the students who are wanting to gain experience as a requirement, okay, but it's actually, it's an on-the-job kind of training where you will also benefit from having the experience of a job. For example, are you sure that you want that career, or you want the job? So in other words, para mas pasramdam, hindi ang nakikinabang lang sa internship is yung kumpanya na kinukuha ka bilang intern na maaaring nakamura siya dun sa labor na binibigay mo, which is not the reason why you as a company should get into internship. I will be very much against it. Kung ang purpose lang ng kumpanya is makamura siya sa labor, i-exploit niya yung intern, that's very wrong. Or pagtatrabahuin niya beyond the design of the learning. Alam mo, pinaglinis na niya ng bahay, pinagwalis na niya ng bakuran, or pinagluto na niya sa etc. So these are things that you might want to see on the legal standpoint. Okay, but for purposes of learning, that's the main reason why internship program really is a perfect pathway to professionalism. Kasi dito mo mararanasan kung talagang gusto mo o ayaw mo ng trabahong ito. Doon mo lang masasabi yan pag nandun ka na actually sa trabahong yon. So in other words, you're making your feet wet and find out what you can actually do, all right? And what you really want to improve upon. Now, of course, what are the essential skills that are needed for career success? Okay, and first is communication skills. Okay, and I have included here the 5 C's of communication. Okay, clarity. Are you clear enough to be understood? Completeness. In the first place, clarity. By the way, communication is an exchange of meaning from the sender and the receiver. And there is such a thing that not only a message that is sent to the receiver, but also a feedback that is sent by the receiver to the sender. Clarity, is it understood? Completeness. Are there no gray lines? You see, conciseness, so that it is short but sweet, short but complete. Okay, concreteness. Concrete. Is it something really concrete enough to bring in the context so that it's not causing misunderstanding? And correctness. Is the information correct in the first place? Okay, so learn communication skills. In my life, I have observed that communication skills really differentiate. As a matter of fact, like when we are going through a campaign trail, sometimes the organizer will just whisper to us and say, Sir Carl, you only have 2 minutes to make a presentation. How will you sell yourself to a crowd of 5,000 in 2 minutes? So see, and all of this will have to play. I should deliver my message clear, complete enough so that what I want to say is there, concise enough because you only have 2 minutes, concrete enough because you want to show people what you really mean and what you really intend to do, and correctness. No, you cannot engage in fake news. All right, information technology skills. Okay, remember this, technology will continue to reshape the workplace. And that's why it is said that as a result, flexibility and adaptability will be sought after attributes in employees at all levels. Okay, so really it's a game changer. It's something that will differentiate you. How good are you in doing this? Learn a simple, for example, if you're in my company, for example, if you're giving me some task list, don't put it in a Word file. You have to put it in an Excel file because it should come to me, not only as a list of things to do, but an application or a program which will simplify the information that I may still want to include in the whole big picture of what my message is all about. Okay, information handling skills. The biggest challenge is to process large quantities of information quickly and efficiently. That's what I mean. If you give me a Word file and just a list of what information you're providing me, then I will have a hard time creating the second column so that I can make it as a checklist or put cost into it and so on. So it's really about how are you presenting the information, not only to present it, but to make it functional. You see, ano ang value ng pinipresent mo? For example, for clients, if you're presenting an idea, don't make a client imagine. You know, you may want to have a peg, you might want to have a sample, you might want to have a layout, okay? And these are all available in Pinterest, in Google. You can all be very visual because events are very visual, okay? And the experience, making it experiential means making it visual. Multitasking skills. Nako, this is a major thing about events. By the way, I managed events in my younger life, and that's why I know exactly how multitasker you should be, to the point that sometimes you even have to transform yourself to become a waiter or a singer or a host and like that. So develop all those skills so that multitasking will come to you easy. You see, critical thinking skills. It's bringing solutions rather than problems. That's what critical thinking brings. Solutions rather than problems. You're being outsourced. I mean, if there's an event, an organizer is invited because the principal will just have to sit pretty, okay, and stress-free in the entire course of the event, or even before and after. And that's where the suppliers, organizers, that's where outsourcing will come handy. Okay, you're supposed to be there to solve problems, not to give problems. Okay, because if you're not part of the solution, you're probably part of the problem. Kaya kailangan troubleshooter, and troubleshooting skill is essential in that professionalism point of view. Teamworking skills. As I told you earlier, you have to engage yourself in dealing with different, not only persons in your team, but intra-team is one, inter-team is another, and that creates a whole network of service providers and suppliers with all different expertise that you may not understand the others. But because of your team working skills, you are able to complete the whole picture of the task. Okay? And the keywords here are leadership. Leadership is all about influence, collaboration, and of course, good communication skills. Continuous learning skills. This is ulit-ulit. Practicing a professional career is a brain race. Okay, meaning lifelong learning is a precondition for career success. Lifelong learning. Okay, by lifelong learning, we mean that you don't stop learning, because what you may know as true right now is not anymore true tomorrow. Okay, what you believe in right now, you may have to change because of different points of view. So it's about respect. It's about respect to the fact that things change, and therefore your ability to learn matters. Professionalism is knowing. As I said, professionalism is knowing to do when to do it, and doing it. Beautiful indeed, right? It's professionalism means you know how to do it, okay, and when to do it, and of course you know how to actually do it. Okay, it may sound redundant. Indeed, it is redundant because knowing how to do it is just in the cognitive level. When to do it is about decision. By the way, how to do it may actually be differentiated in terms of attitude, or in terms of not only attitude but of course values. Okay, what if I remember in our resort there was an event when my wife had reacted because the performer was actually doing some performance beyond the acceptable norm to her. I mean, very sexy already, to the point that the performer is already sitting on the lap of of audiences. So we became very restless about it and not comfortable about it because it's in a resort. If pictures and videos are taken from our resort, then it will remove the family oriented image of the resort. But this is an event, you see. But we did not know who the performers were. Okay, and this may just be a simple birthday party, but for it to turn out like a live pornography in front of you, then that's when the values will have to come in, and this is where the organizer has to to really bridge those gaps in values. Okay, and of course the ability to do it. It's not only ability to talk about it, to present it, to convince people about it. It's actually execution. I think if there's one word that professionals should differentiate themselves, no, and where everyone should learn about, it's our ability to execute. When you execute, you're able to not only do it to finish it, but do it in a process. Remember, in the context of quality, there is input, there is process, and there is an outcome or the output. Okay, the output is the end in mind. But for us to reach the end in mind, we should have the input and we should have the process. And both the input and the process are key elements to the outcome which professionals are known for. Now, I'm convinced that internship, by putting yourself in the actual world of work, then you are able to learn and have a sneak peek, not only of the world of work, but you as part of that world of work. So I have to congratulate the organizer of the event. Thank you for putting value and premium to professionalism. As I said, which is not only about being good, but being better. And if I will just put my presentation in 3 words, I think professionalism is about or 3 concepts. Professionalism is all about being able to learn so that you can adapt to change, being able to be there not alone but in teams or in collaboration with the others, and of course being there complete enough to solve problems as they may come. The professionals are approached because we know better. Like, for example, as I run in this race, in the election, in politics, this is first time to me. But what gives me a lot of value and what gives me a lot of confidence is by being a professional. Because as a professional, I know what I know and I know how to do it better. So the challenge is what do you know? And as the moment you know it, how do you perform it better? Not for that moment, but better every day. Thank you so much. God bless you all. At mabuhay ang mga entrepreneurs, mabuhay ang mga learners, mabuhay ang mga academician, and let's all learn together. Because, as a teacher myself, I would always say that the proof of learning is change. The proof of learning is change. And that change is not only change within you, but change around you. So learn to change. Thank you so much. God bless you. This has been Dr. Carl Balita, wishing you all a great day and challenging you all to be better.
All right, so let's give a round of applause or a virtual clap to Dr. Carl E. Balita. Thank you for that very informative and encouraging presentation. Indeed, Professionalism is vital in all aspects of our lives, specifically in a work setting, right? That's why for me, learning is beneficial for us to sculpt our capabilities, and that's the reason why internship is essential. And for sure, everybody listed their key takeaways also. But before that, let me introduce to you the founder of Wedding Suppliers Association of the Philippines, no other than Mr. TJ Yuson.
Thank you, Mary Joyce. Thank you to the organizers, to the team members actually behind of this Internship Summit 2022. Again, my name is TJ Yuson. I'm the founder of Wedding Suppliers Association of the Philippines. Um, Actually, I like the idea about learning process. The word professionalism is a big word. Pero hindi nagtatapos kasi yun doon eh. Right? Nasabi nga ni Sir Carl, ni Dr. Carl Balita, adjustment. Which is not really easy. Right? Especially us from the students to the real world, to the corporate world. Hindi ganun kadali. Given tasks, it's not really easy. Very challenging. Every day, actually, lives. Mahirap. Pero for me, it's like, paano ka nag-a-adapt? Are you open for a change? Kasi wala talagang permanent in life, right? So you should actually adjust. Learn how to adapt. Lahat ng process, actually systems. Kahit saan kang pumuntang company. Like example, from one company, professional ka na, okay, from one company to other company. It's not really easy. Iba ang process, iba yung system, iba yung industry. Huwag na tayong lumayo. Since all of you, most of you are interns or students. Can you imagine kung nag-aaral ka sa isang school, okay? Then lumipat ka ng ibang school. Expect iba ang process, iba ang system. Tama? From grade 1 to grade 2, iba ang concept, iba ang strategies. So my dear aspiring interns, okay, let's adapt. Okay? Let's open for changes. Kasi wala talagang permanent. It's so easy. It's not really easy, to be honest with you. Even ako, until now, may mga bagay pa rin talagang mahirap. Handling people, managing own business, diba? Presenting, mahirap. Walang ganon. But I believe, actually, this Internship Summit, no, this is our purpose. I like the idea nung sinabi ni Mary Joyce. Internship isn't essential. Right? So binubuhay natin ngayon, what is internship in the Philippines? We want to change the old concept of internship. Kasi we believe, I believe, the internship actually is a way that we can help to the young professionals, students, para mag-step forward. So bear with us, my dear interns. It's not really easy. Etong advocacy ni WSAP, hindi ganun kadali. Marami tayong matatamaan na idea, concept, perspective. Kasi nakasanayan natin, what is old internship program? To be honest with you, kahit pag tinanong ko kayo, what is internship? Iba-iba ang sasabihin nyo sa amin. Right? We encourage, actually, it's not really students, but also people from the corporate, also teachers, join us. Join us with this advocacy, with this internship summit, because I believe we need you guys. hindi lang estudyante ang makakapag-change ng internship. Hindi lang actually WSA. Lahat actually, my part. So, again, this internship summit actually is a purpose nito is to open our minds and heart. Ano na ba nangyayari talaga sa Pilipinas? And I like also the idea na sinabi niya, very thankful si Dr. Carl Balita na binibigyan natin ng buhay ang internship. Because for me, no, eto din yung way para parehas tayo mag-grow. Lahat. From different schools, teachers, diba? And also the corporate world. Marami actually akong tanong, kaya ako mismo, nag-push ako na gumawa ng internship summit. Example, maraming corporate, maraming companies na hindi nag-o-offer ng internship program. Ang tanong ko, bakit? Bakit hindi nila ina-allow ang mga estudyante na mag-grow? Pero ayaw nila mag-hire ng fresh graduates. That's my question. For the academe, pare-parehas tayo actually gusto natin mag-grow ang estudyante, matuto. Right? Maging competitive. Pero bakit kailangan natin silang pagsabay-sabayin ng thesis, internship program, klase? Tapos we expect results from them. Right? And to all students naman, lahat kayo gusto maging successful. Gusto makakuha ng magandang trabaho at malaking sweldo. So bakit hindi kayo open for challenges? Hindi kayo ready mag-move forward and lumabas sa comfort zone. This internship program, yun yung goal. Ma-open natin lahat yung mga questions natin masagot. Naniniwala ako the internship program actually is a better platform para makita nyo. Tama yung sinabi ni Dr. Carvalita. Dito, makikita nyo kung gusto nyo ba talagang maging HR. Dito nyo actually mararamdaman kung gusto ko ba talaga tong course na to. So my dear interns, aspiring interns, please allow yourself. I know it's not really easy. Okay? So now, ladies and gentlemen, before actually mag-open for question and answer portion, I would like actually to acknowledge all WSUP interns who made this possible. To the alumni na alam kong off-board na kayo, I would like to share, actually, lagi ko tong sasabihin at hindi ako mapapagod. Okay? Marami kayong kayang gawin. Marami kayong pwedeng gawin. Huwag nyo ang ililimit ang sarili nyo. At napapatunayan ko ngayon because the Internship Summit 2022 organized by the interns. Every small details na nakikita nyo, from the script, from the host, from the presentations, if you got letter, invitations, interns, lahat ang gumawa niya. Maraming kayang gawing ang interns. So calling all people na nasa corporate world, please, i-open nyo yung opportunity na makapasok tong mga batang to sa company nyo. Allow them actually na maging interns. Para please, hindi na reason at sasabihin nyo sa kanila na hindi kayo nag-a-accept ng fresh graduates. Because actually, yun ang purpose ng internship program ni WSAP and yun yung purpose actually ng Internship Summit 2022. Again, my name is TJ Yuson. I'm the founder of Wedding Suppliers Association of the Philippines
Thank you for that very informative and encouraging talk, Mr. TJ. For sure, everybody listed their key takeaways. So, this is now the time to entertain all your questions for Mr. TJ Yuson.
Yeah, so for those who would like to ask questions, Mr. TJ is glad to answer all of those. Just type in your questions on our chat box, or you may raise your hand and open your microphone. And of course, for those who are shy enough to ask their questions directly, you can send a personal message to us, and your host would gladly ask your question.
Okay, so let's check the chat box. Okay, well, this is not a question, but I just want to bring it up. Okay, so Miss Jennifer Flores said, totally agree with you, Mr. Yuson, about OJT, sabay sa thesis. Wow. Okay, so for sure, some students here, right, or some viewers, participants here, they are having they're currently having internship while they are having thesis. Mahirap po talaga yan. But of course, like what our professional says, nasa ating kakayahan yan.
Yes, but I guess everything is clear since there's no one asking questions. So, can we proceed?
Oh, Sir TJ,
Mary Joyce, I will add lang, no? Kasi sabi nga, totally agree with you, Mr. TJ, Yuson, about the OJTs, the sabay sa thesis. Okay, for me kasi, this is my perspective. Sana, okay, magkameron muna sila ng experience. Sana, maging interns muna sila bago sila magkameron ng thesis. Kasi for me, mas magiging effective ang isang estudyante kung allow mo muna silang ma-experience yung corporate world before having thesis. Okay? Hindi muna thesis, then tsaka OJT. And that's my perspective. Kasi I have also interns. Alam nyo naman yan, almost 250 or 250 plus. And I got actually feedback from them. After nilang ng internship program with our company, mas nagiging magaling sila with the thesis. Mas less yung pressure, yung stress, mas alam nila agad yung title, mas alam nila kung paano nila i-defend because of the internship program. So for me, that's my suggestion, Mary Joyce. Baka this is also our opportunity to inform, to share our thoughts, no, about the internship na sabay yung thesis. So for me, internship muna, then tsaka sila magti-thesis para mas aware sila. And purpose din also nun, di ba? It's so hard for you to gather data. Kasi some of you naghahanap talaga ng data at hindi yung binibigay basta-basta ng company. Tama? For me, you will get data once na nandun ka na sa loob. So, pag naging interns ka na, it's not really easy for you to gather that data or information. So, it's so hard for you to all students na gumagawa ng thesis. Data gathering pa lang, actually, hirap na kayo. I'm sure you agree. Right? So, baka may mga questions sa Facebook Live natin, no? So, please allow them to read. Kasi I believe, interns, huwag niyong papayagan yung sarili niyong hindi magtanong. Okay? Kung meron kayong curious kayo about ano nangyayari sa inyo, ano yung pakiramdam niyo today, okay? So, especially sa mga academe na nandiyan, baka mayroon kayong gustong itanong, please.
Well, sir, I have a question po. Okay, so according to Sir Dr. Carl Balita, while I was listening to his talk, he told that the hair, right, the appearance, the tattoos, is it really going to affect our work or our professionalism inside a work setting?
Actually, depende yun sa trabaho mo at depende sa course mo. Depende sa house rules or rules ng company. Kasi may iniingatan din silang branding. Diba? For us, like for example sa akin, as WSAP, pag interns ka sa WSAP, bawal mag-off ng camera. Right? House rules yun. So for me, depende. Speak of, sabi mo long hair, okay? Kung halimbawa, you're a man, tapos long hair ka, tapos sa frontliner ka, most likely kung hotel ka, alam mo naman bawal. The tattoo, bawal talaga. Okay? Kailangan kasi presentable. Pero for example, kung long hair ka at artist ka naman, nasa events industry ka, multimedia ka, alam mo yon, artist, pwede yun. So for me, depende sa course, depende sa company. Kasi for example, isang brand, isang airlines, alam naman natin very strict sila. Pati ngipin kasama. Tama? Required sila dapat marunong lumangoy. So, for me, depende sa company, depende sa brand, kasi, ayun, kung makaapektuhan, yes, actually, Mary Joyce, maapektuhan. Kasi hindi naman yan ibibigay yung rules na yan kung wala lang. So, may basis talaga yan. Okay? So, yun yung sagot ko doon, Mary Joyce.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Well, we also have another question from Sir John Nathan. Ano po ba ang pwedeng gawin ng student kung yung OJT coordinators mismo nila ang nagde-decide para sa internship ng students? And then cut.
All right. For me, sometimes nahihirapan ng estudyante. Right? Because of the OJT coordinators. Let's admit that. Okay? Pero I suggest kung hindi kayo nagkakaintindihan, please ask them. Ma'am, sorry, curious lang ako. Can I ask something? Para lang mas maintindihan. Same with the superior. Nathan. Okay? If hindi ka rin naguguluhan ka sa decision making ng boss mo, ng colleagues mo, you can ask. Bakit po? Para clear lang po sa akin. So, huwag kayong matakot at huwag kayong mahiya. Okay? So, kung ang OJT coordinator nyo is yun na nag-decide, please ask. I'm pretty sure meron silang sagot. Okay? And sa lahat naman ng OJT coordinators, please, sagutin nyo naman lahat ng mga estudyante nyo para mas maintindihan kayo. Okay? Kasi I'm pretty sure meron din yan, alam mo yun, curious sila, may mga bagay. Actually, in fact, interns, nung nag-start ako ng career sa corporate world, ito yung promise ko na hindi ko pa rin makakalimutan. Staff ako and I have boss, hindi ko naiintindihan yung decision making niya. As in, nahihirapan talaga ako. Okay? So, ito yung promise ko sa sarili ko. Sana dumating yung time, pag ako na yung boss, sana naiintindihan pa rin ako ng staff. Kasi yun yung na-experience ko nun sa corporate world. It's so hard for me to understand. Kaya, for me, kahit nagagalit ako, nagpapaliwanag ako. Kailangan ko mag-explain. Mas mahaba actually paliwanag kaysa sa galit. Okay? Kasi, you need to tell them You need to explain them. Diba, interns, mahirap sa atin pag pinapagalitan tayo ng magulang natin, nagagalit sila na hindi natin naiintindihan. Agree? So kayo naman, please, you ask also your parents. Kasi I'm pretty sure meron yan sagot. So allow them na magpahinga. Okay? Hanap ka ng perfect timing. Same with the teachers. Same with your superior. Allow them na magpahinga. Okay? Pasok ka pag perfect timing na pwede ka na magtanong. So, yun. That's my advice.
Okay, very well said, Sir TJ. Another question po. Okay, so it's a private message. How about sa transgender? Did it affect the internship? Kasi merong company na hindi tumatanggap.
Actually, it's 2022 na, no? The preferences should be hindi na dapat. Pero, aminin naman natin, hindi siya nawawala until now. Hindi lahat open. Diba? Pero again, it's 2022 na. Dapat open na tayo. Pero hindi natin mapipilit yung mga bagay na hindi talaga kaya o hindi kaya maintindihan. Right? So we need to adjust also. Until now pa rin naman, diba? May mga bars pa rin na bawal pumasok ang transgender. Diba? Until now, may mga tao pa rin pag nakatingin sa CR, pagpapasok kayo. Pero you feel like girl talaga And you don't care kung sino yung mga katabi mo, right? Pero may mga tao pa rin na mag-judge. Okay. Hindi mawawala ang judgment. Yun ang natutunan ko sa life coaching. Lahat tayo, judgmental. Agree? Lahat tayo may judgment. Okay? Pero some of our judgment naka-hide. Some of our judgment loud. So for me, kung ako ang transgender, pipili ako kung saan ako belong. Kasi we don't want also to insist ourselves yung hindi tayo belong, right? We don't want also pumasok sa isang circle na hindi naman tayo belong. So ikaw, para mas maging happy ka, okay? Para mas less ang stress, pumasok ka sa right circle. Pero allow yourself muna to experience. If you feel like no talaga, that's the time. You need to live. So pero wag mo namang unahan yung sarili mo. Ay baka ayaw nila ng transgender. Ay baka ayaw nila ng long hair. Instead, alamin mo, okay, mag-research ka, gawa ka ng paraan to get an information, tapos pumasok ka, then allow your pero yan, kailangan maging responsible ka. Kasi may risk din doon. Tama? So kung na-judge ka, hindi ka dapat masyado maapektuhan. Kasi alam mo na hindi ka pa belong. Tama? So yun in turn. Sa lahat din ng companies, kahit kayo, actually, mapipil niyo yan sa corporate world. Di ba? May kanya-kanyang circle eh. May kanya-kanyang acting style, character, attitude. So, hindi mo mapipilit kung soft-spoken siya, loud siya, hindi. Allow yourself na experience lahat yon. So, it's okay lang. Okay? So, again, sa transgender na tinatanong niya, for me, mas ipakita mong may kaya kang gawin. Okay? Actually, we're inviting you also, si-segue ko na, no? On Feb 26, I have talk sa PUP Manila regarding dyan. Regarding actually sa discriminations. Okay? Hindi ko yan itinatago. Okay? Kung sino man nagtatanong yan, sasabihin ko rin sa iyo yung sagot diretso. Even ako, I got actually discriminated. Okay? And they found out na I'm bisexual, tinanggal ako sa company. And take note, sales manager ng posisyon ko dyan that time. And take note, ang may-ari ng company is bisexual also. Pero ang ni-reason out na sa akin, bisexual daw ako. Sa lesbian actually, yung company na yon. Way back 2013. Pero alam mo, mas maraming door ang nag-open sa akin. That time, actually, doon ako nag-freelance, pumasok sa events. And sino na ako ngayon sa events industry? So for me, kung sino man yung taong yon na nag-judge sa akin before, thank you. Kasi mas maraming pinto ang nagbukas at nandito na ako ngayon. I'm the founder of Wedding Suppliers Association of the Philippines. I have almost 250 na interns. I have 110 colleges and universities partnering with us. I have 18 brands. I could say, yun yung nag-open ng door sa akin because of their judge. So, sa lahat ng mga transgender na nandyan, okay, sa lahat ng mga nahihirapan actually mag-adjust, allow them to judge you. Trust me, pampagising din sa'yo yan. Oo, kasi dyan ako nagising actually. No? Nasabihan din ako masasakit na salita. And that words actually dala-dala ko until now. At yung mga words na yun yung nag-push sa akin pataas. Yun, allow yourself na i-push nyo yung sarili nyo pataas instead na pababa. Hindi nyo maiiwasan na may sasabihin na actually niya, hindi maganda ang mga tao sa inyo. Pero instead, okay, na matrauma ka, instead of ayaw mo na or mag-give up ka, that words actually na masakit, yan yung gamitin mo para iakyat. Iakyat mo yung sarili. So that's my advice also. Okay? Sa nagtanong, Joyce?
All right, so we have another question, but I think this is the last. Okay, but this is from Miss Jennifer Flores. May mga recommend list of company ba ang WSAP na magandang pag-OJT-han? More about IT internship, programming, and web development.
Alright. Actually, yan yung dapat next step namin. This Internship Summit, actually, we want to recognize all companies na magagaling talaga mag-create ng internship program. Okay? But Jennifer Flores, our company also, we accept, okay, an IT interns. If you wish to know more, you can visit WSAP internship program. Actually, that's our next goal. Na hindi lang kami ang magiging training or a platform for internship. We want actually to recognize. Isa doon actually, magaling gumawa actually ng internship program. Actually, school siya. Enduron. Nung na-meet ko siya, ang galing ng internship program nila. So, Enduron, ayan, sa lahat na nakikinig, sana makarating to sa inyo. Sobra akong na-admire sa mga people behind who organize or create internship program dyan sa school na yan. Ang galing gumawa nila. So, isa yun sa mga goal namin sa Internship Summit. Right? The organizers, we want actually to recognize companies, schools, and also students na talagang nag-excel sa kanilang internship program. Alright? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Sir TJ. Well, anyway, are there any questions pa po?
It seems like there's no further questions na. So, indeed, that was a very good discussion and active engagement between all of you and our speaker. Again, thank you very much, Dr. Balita and Sir TJ, for investing time, effort, and sharing your knowledge with us. For sure, we all have learned a lot from this talk.
Okay, so to extend our gratitude, may we call on the attention of our media head for the presentation of certificate. Okay, so this certificate is awarded to Dr. Carl E. Balita in grateful acknowledgement of his worthy and invaluable service as guest of honor and speaker during the Internship Summit of Wedding Suppliers Association of the Philippines, incorporated with the theme taking great steps toward a rewarding future, thereby contributing immeasurably to the prestige and success of the event, given the 25th day of February in the year of 2022. Once again, thank you very much, Dr. Balita, Sir TJ, and to the whole WSAF family who organized this event. May we see a virtual clap from all of you if you're still there?
Why did you? So while I am grateful that they are still with us, but we are not yet done because we will still be having our afternoon program. We will have our lunch break first, so don't forget to be back on later for the next another professional.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up our morning program for today's Internship Summit 2022, Day 2. See you all later, 1 o'clock p.m. for our afternoon program. Happy lunch, everyone.
Ang goal kasi ng company is to change the old style ng internship program sa Pilipinas. Some of the seniors na na-experience nila, nag-photocopy lang, nag-stapler lang, nagbutas lang ng cheque. So we don't want that. And I believe kayo din, as aspiring interns, naghahanap din kayo ng right company na perfect para sa inyo.
I see internship as an opportunity for us students to experience practical working, explore career development, learning new skills, and of course, gaining knowledge in a field related to what we plan or desire to pursue.
Spending 40 hours a week required me a whole lot of adjustment. time management, and discipline.
Every day, merong morning briefing and that's one of the best ways to start your morning actually kasi masasanay talaga yung katawan mong gumising ng maaga pa sa alarm mo.
WSAP taught me how to be braver and more confident. Because according to Mr. DJ Yusanagan, everything is a learning experience.
There's no better way of learning than through a hands-on experience. Working here helps me instill a sense of professionalism that is necessary for me to compete in the business world. Sitting on important meetings, calls, or presentation allowed me to learn about office etiquette, allowed me to learn about how you effectively communicate with others.
One thing I've learned there is growth. I was able to grow as a person. I was able to test my skills, especially my leadership skills, and to enhance my communication skills. With that being said, we are not only limited to tasks at hand, but we are able to go out of the comfort zone. We are able to talk to teachers, talk to professionals, and to open our eyes in the real corporate world.
My name is DJ Yuson. I'm the founder of Wedding Suppliers Association of the Philippines Internship Program.